Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Carver Conservation Commission meeting of Wednesday, March 9th, 2022. Mr. Germain, did you?
I do. Mr. Chair, before we begin, I'd like to make a public statement. I want to make a formal apology to my fellow Conservation Commission members, the people who were present at the meeting on February 16, 2022, and to the public for any conduct that may have unintentionally annoyed or provoked anyone. It was not my intent to engage in any such discussions, but did so only out of frustration. Going forward, it is my objective to be more considerate to all who come before this commission, and I hope anyone who is angered will accept this sincere apology. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's it.
All right.
I accept it.
I accept too.
I accept it.
All right. From our agenda, we're going to do our discussions first. We have, first up is an informal discussion for 92B South Main Street.
Sampson's. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Yes.
Questions, or should I start?
Just let us, let everyone know what you're asking
I
here.
went before zoning last month, and apparently my lawyer didn't realize that we had to go before conservation first, so they basically told us to leave.
Get out of here.
Come see you and start the process.
Okay.
So when I appeared before them, I was going to do two separate dwellings, because right now there's two dwellings in the property. After I talked to a few people, a lawyer, my brother who's a contractor, he suggested I go with one dwelling. I talked to the building inspector. He suggested I go with the one dwelling connected to an in-law apartment. So that's what you're looking at now. So basically, I'm gonna live in the front house. My parents are gonna live in the rear house, but it's gonna be one structure.
Okay, I'm assuming the front house is the larger of the two?
Yes.
So the street is to the north of this?
No,
So-
Sampson's Pond.
The pond.
Where's the pond?
Pond is
on the top.
This is the pond?
Yes.
So the front house is the back house? You're in the larger house?
Yeah.
Yes.
So the
I will be,
larger
yes.
house is
So
towards.
you're closer to the pond?
Yes.
Okay, so I would see that as the rear house, but okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay, I see
Yeah.
what you're saying.
I'm just trying to get, where is this on, where is 92? If you don't mind me saying,
Come down a
whereabouts?
long driveway.
It's next
It's,
to next to Wayne Haniela's.
Oh, okay, all right, now I know where you are. Okay.
Yeah, it's along the Andrews
Yeah,
Yep,
close-
yep,
house
yep,
that
yep,
Jeff
it's up
Merritt's
there and, yep.
redoing.
Close to Bob Andrews' house, too.
Okay.
Yep, not too far from
So I was trying to make the lot a little more conforming, so I'm gonna actually take the house that's closest to the pond, and if you notice, I'm gonna back that up, so it'll be 35 feet from the pond. I've already had a perk test done, if you see in the back right-hand corner, so it's been perked for a 4-bedroom septic system. It's already been engineered. So the septic system will be at the rear of the property, or I guess you'll call it the front of the property, away from the pond.
Okay, I see that the house close, the larger structure is going to be 30 by 40. How much of that 40 feet is within the 65-foot buffer zone?
Looks like 30 feet of it.
It's like about 2/3 of it.
Yeah, it does, looks like 30 feet of it, ish.
Yeah, maybe a little less.
I think the idea is to preserve the cottage.
Yes, I get that. What I'm trying to figure out is, there's already an existing house within the 65 feet that's coming out.
All the way down,
Right.
Yeah.
with a
so-
brick patio.
Yeah, so, I mean, I just want to know how many square feet's going to go into 65.
About 900. I mean,
How big is the existing house, if you don't mind me asking, do you know? Roughly?
Roughly, if you go, see how it juts out at the back end?
Yeah,
So if I square that off, I would not be increasing the width at all, and I think I'd be extending the rear roughly 5 to 6 feet.
Okay, so it's, the increase in size is almost negligible, and a lot of it's being pulled out of the
Right. Right.
65 altogether.
Right, and I see that there is currently a cesspool. Are you removing that as well?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
And he's getting rid of the 2 sheds that
Yeah.
are there. So he's getting rid of those buildings too.
And then the in-laws are only going to be a little bit in the 100.
Right.
Yep,
So,
and the cottage is already there.
and the purpose of the informal discussion is to suggest that he file an NOI?
Yeah, he knows he has to file an NOI, but he
Yeah.
just wanted to get your, to give you an idea what he was thinking of doing and what you would,
Who's on your right and left here?
So the annulars are on my left facing the pond, and my sister is on my right.
So the Hanulas are on the right then, according to this drawing. I'm assuming this is Main Street
No, it's not,
down the bottom? This would be Main Street.
Well, it's
No.
landlocked, so
it's
it's
landlocked.
Scott Hanula's property is surrounding my property.
Is it over here?
Here.
Or is he over here?
He's
Here.
on the left-hand
Here, I'll
side.
show
He's
you.
over here, okay.
Bob Andrews and Jeff Merritt's house.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right.
Okay. I don't see any reason why you can't file an NOI.
No. That's Hanuel's.
Yep, yep.
Here's Main Street down here, that's the driveway that
Yep.
goes in there. So, yeah, really, he's surrounded on 3 sides by other property and on the north side by Sampson's Pond, so.
Yeah, Rick just wanted to just get you, just to see what your thoughts were before he went and got, went and did the filing. Went and got the plans done and all that kind of stuff, so.
Right.
Well, I can't-
Well,
Go ahead.
no, please.
I can't speak for the whole commission, but I see it as an improvement. And I think you should absolutely go forward with an NOI. And
You have any comments?
Well, I'm sorry, but based on this map, I don't have enough information to make any kind of
No,
opinion.
no, you don't need to decide anything? This
No,
was just
I
the
agree.
informal-
Even
yeah.
understand what he's talking about. I'm real sorry. We really need a better engineered drawing to show
Well,
where
Right.
the pond is, what's here, what's
Yeah.
there, etc.
Which is what you'll have when he files a notice of intent.
Okay, well, there's no point looking at this, to me.
Well, it's an informal discussion.
Yeah.
Dan, anything?
And nothing to comment on at this point.
Okay.
Confusion.
We've had a similar situation on Sampson's Pond with the Merritts.
Yeah,
That, they moved a house back.
Yeah.
Or are planning to, and removing a cesspool
yeah,
is almost identical.
yeah. And that's
So, from that standpoint, precedent is set. So I would, go right ahead. and,
Yeah.
Talk with Brooke and do your NOI and get us some real good plans, and we'll take it from there, but,
I'm sure we'll do a site visit, and
yeah.
and obviously we can't tell you what the outcome will be, but I think that on the plus side, there's an improvement because you're coming back off the pond.
Did you want to schedule a site visit before I do the
You'd need to file the NOI
Okay.
first and make
Right.
it official, and then, we'd probably have the next hearing, we'd read the NOI and then schedule a site visit.
We would probably do the site visit the morning of
Morning
the
of the-
NOI.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah,
idea.
and
That's-
I'll let you know, and
Okay.
then you can come up with a set.
Right.
And that way
Yes.
we'll have the real plans with us and we can see everything that you.
Right, and, that's how we generally work. We would go in the morning of a Wednesday meeting.
And Jim, the reason, my engineer was just doing me a favor, he whipped this up yesterday just so I'd have something to show you guys today.
Okay, well, it's something to show us, but
No, that's good.
doesn't show me
That gets
much.
you started,
Gives
that's
you an
fine.
idea.
It
Yeah.
does. It's better,
There's
it's better
just
than
not
nothing.
enough information.
Listen,
It's better than nothing.
we've had this come in on a
Yeah, it's-
napkin, so we're doing good.
It's better than this side of the picture.
Yeah. Okay, thanks very much.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, moving on quickly through the rest of the discussion items. We do still have an opening for a member of the Conservation Commission. We have 4 members now. We have 5 seats. So if anyone is interested in becoming a member of the Conservation Commission, please speak to Brooke, and we'll get you on the way. After our next meeting on March 23rd, we will revert back to the first and third Wednesdays
Didn't
of the
last very
month.
long. The second foot didn't last
But
very long.
that's okay. So I believe that our meeting after the 23rd will be on the 6th
April 6th, yep,
of April,
and the 20th.
and 6th and the 20th. We did a site visit with the DEP at Zero Meadows Street. There was a complaint. That's with the DEP. They're going to look at some things. We have to, we've received an open meeting law violation complaint.
Was that for the last meeting?
Of course it is.
Yeah,
For the 16th?
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, oh, yes, okay, I'm sorry, yes. I
Yeah.
remember. Okay, with the town.
I don't remember exactly what was
Complaint
about.
The
alleges
complaint was that we
that,
talked to town council
we
before.
talked to town council and it
before
was
anything
not
opened.
a
Oh.
public forum.
Oh, that's right.
So,
Yes.
yes, we need to.
That we spoke to town
engage
council. So anyway, we need to vote tonight.
Yes, I make a motion, we engage town council in this public meeting complaint.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded to engage town council to deal with the open meeting law violation from our February 16th meeting. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none.
Should be good, given the fact that town council was in the room, so.
Yeah, approved 4-0. Just one other thing I want to add. It's not on the agenda, but it just kind of happened last Friday, I guess, or Monday. During the February 16th meeting, there was a resident who wished to speak who had not signed in. And there was some discussion about whether or not she needed to sign in. And I contacted the Commonwealth Open Meeting Law Division and asked that specific question. And if you are a member of the public who comes to a public meeting not expecting to speak or not wanting to speak, you do not have to sign in. If you do come and wish to speak, it's at the discretion of the chairman of any commission to allow the person to speak if they don't sign in, but it can be disallowed if they refuse to sign in. But it's totally at the discretion of the chairman. So, moving forward, just so that we all know that. And they were, I have to say that the people in the Commonwealth, they know their stuff. They went right through this whole thing, and I was my head's spinning a little bit. Okay, so.
You'll get better, don't worry.
All right, moving on. We have continued hearings. What I would like to do is I would like to do the last one first, because that's only one hearing, and then we'll get back to the 3 on South Main Street.
Is that all right?
So,
Yeah.
great. So, you're up.
The cane's not gonna help you.
No, it helps a little bit, just enough still.
I think Mr. Germain means with us.
Oh, yeah.
No
Tell you, it
sympathy.
should have been a wheelchair and an auction block. Go ahead.
Let me sign in here first.
All kidding aside, I do hope that he's doing well. He had a hip replacement. I wouldn't wish
That's
that
it?
We spoke
on
earlier.
my worst enemy.
Oh, my God, you're young
It
for
can
that.
have,
I
it
know,
can, it can be
worst
tough,
enemy.
and he's way too young for this
Oh my
nonsense,
God,
so
yeah.
whatever you're doing to the guy, stop.
Okay. What do you got?
Yeah, so we, me and Taylor going through a little situation, decided that it might be in everybody's best interest if the stone block wall that is there is considered the reinforcement of the wall, and we put in front of the wall wood that would cover that cement. And in conjunction with that, we would have, and I sent a small email to Brooke,
Yeah.
arborvitaes or similar along the I consider it the right side, but I think that's the north side, would have arborvitaes and some planter boxes on top of the wall with vine or something similar that would drape over the wall. And that was kind of what we came up with as far as having the material quote unquote stay the same. However, since it was falling down, it was a way to ensure that and kind of make it look somewhat more natural with the plantings and the vines on the wall.
Okay. Does anyone have any comments on this?
Yes, sir. I haven't been to the site, I haven't seen the wall, I've seen pictures. My argument would be that the wood you're proposing to do is a feel-good moment for the commission. I think it's going to create more maintenance problems in the future. I think that personally, and I only speak for myself, I want that very clear, I would be very content if you did the arborvitaes and some plants and stuff like that and leave the wood out. Just leave the thing the way it is and plant around it, make it pretty. I think that becomes less of a headache down the road for you. I think it becomes less of a maintenance factor for you and maybe your kids if they stay there, or the next owners that, you know, find a wooden wall falling apart and decide, oh, well, it's already here, so I'll just go and replace it, and now we're right back in the same situation again. So my personal belief would be, it's there. I do not believe you put that in there with malice and forethought. I think you honestly, truly assumed you could just go ahead and update a falling down decrepit wooden wall that was on the pond. You're willing now to put plantings around it and make it look as attractive as it can. I think that the wood is unnecessary, but that is only my view. So, Mr. Chairman.
Right. Any other comments from the commission? Mr. Badger?
Yeah, just real quick. The last time we were here, I think there was some concern about how we voted for the NOI versus the variance. And I think my reason for initially, I believe I voted against the NOI, or no, I
For the NOI.
I voted for the NOI because I didn't feel that there was enough information historically to be able to say anything against it, even though I have issues with things being built so close to the water. With that said, I've done some study too, and the lack of history should have led me, and this is, I'd like to rectify how I went about voting for this and the variance, and that is that because there's a lack of history, I really should have, worst case, abstained from that vote in the first place. So not really going to apologize for causing angst, because I think by now my intentions are always to do the right thing. Mm-hmm. So it's never anything on my end. It's never personal. Mm-hmm. I'm going to definitely agree with Mr. Germain on the wood. I appreciate the gesture, but again, it's an unnecessary expense. And with the plantings that you are suggesting, I think that's wonderful. And I'm not even sure that part's necessary, although those are things that we like to see in terms of...
It's a nice thing, it'll look nice.
And in terms of mitigating any suggested or implied work that should or should not have been done. This is, again, a tricky thing because this is all an after-the-fact thing, and we've gone through that, so I'm not going to torture you with all the ins and outs of that, right? Mm-hmm. So, I'm of no opinion on this case as it pertains to the NOI for lack of evidence of its history. The work that was done, it's pretty. I again tend not to like to see that kind of work done so close to a body of water, but it's not my place to vote against it without having be able to see any historical documents to lead me to think otherwise. Okay. That's all.
No comment.
No comments? All right. I'm in a bit of disagreement with Mr. Germain on the wood. And my reasoning is as follows. The wood, that wall can be seen by every resident who lives around that pond or uses that pond, including the public beach. And that concrete is never going to look anything other than concrete.
Paint it brown.
It might be a great, sorry to interrupt you, but this might pertain to what you're saying. There were other things that we looked at that we thought looked a little bit better, but we were trying to get back to the same material. But they have some really awesome looking vine netting type things. I don't know if it's necessary, but there's some really cool things that you can put on that wouldn't really be upkeep, but depending on what we chose, there's a chance it might look really nice, something like that as well.
The netting goes over the concrete?
Yeah, it's
and
almost
then
like
you
fake
plant it?
shrubbery.
You plant it? You plant
No,
it?
it was just a drape thing. I don't know how it gets installed,
Silk,
but
that way you
yeah,
can't kill it.
yeah. And I don't know if that's necessary, but it is something that we thought when we were looking through ideas, it did look really nice.
Okay, well, what I was thinking about, and what as you were talking was, there was a home on Sampson's Pond who put in a rock wall. And we actually made them, asked them, and they agreed to bury that wall. Really dig a hole behind it and push the wall in, which made it invisible. So, I'm thinking that a wooden lattice work, even something that will weather with time and sort of make your wall disappear into the rest of your frontage, would be a benefit to other residents of Carver. But we can, if the board feels that the plantings and hanging vines and arborvitaes are sufficient, then, I understand that, we're trying to save the applicant a little bit of money, but there are a lot of people who use John's Pond and see it from the water. And I think from an aesthetic standpoint, the less visible it seems, the better it's going to be. So.
Yeah, I think, that, again, this is me maybe being in more cyborg mode when it comes to just following what we're sitting here to do. And I'm not sure that we're allowed to have an opinion on the aesthetic side of things. I do appreciate if there is a inexpensive way to tie all this together, that's wonderful. But also, again, not caring about certain items that are not for us is I never really care what it costs a resident to do or not to do things. It's we're told what to interpret and how to vote accordingly on those things, not so much the aesthetic stuff. And I know doesn't endear me to certain people because it makes it sound like I don't care about my neighbor. Of course I do. But again, just trying to keep things consistent by irritating everybody in a very equal way.
Right.
Well, I tend to agree with you. Aesthetics is not.
And you do so good at it,
Thank you.
by the way.
Thank you.
Aesthetics are not in our charge.
Right.
Really, I was just thinking from the standpoint of, sort of, we did receive a complaint about this, which is why we're here to begin with, and trying to, kind of smooth the waters a little bit, making it look better, might help in that regard. So we have to. Why don't we propose what the orders of conditions would be?
Well, we have to vote on the variance.
Right.
So, may I have a
Yeah, I mean, the
indulgence
conditions,
from the chair?
Go right ahead.
It's not very often. This is a unique occasion that I tend to totally agree with Dan. It is not, we are not house beautiful. So I understand where you're coming from. I truly, honest to God, I do. As far as I'm concerned, and we've had this argument in public, we've had this argument privately. This has nothing to do with the wall on John's Pond that we made flip over and bury.
Sampson's.
Because that was Sampson's, because that was done with malice and forethought. This is not. And I truly believe this. I don't think you got up one morning and decided, oh, you know what, we don't care what the town says, we're doing this. And I know where these blocks came from. I have some in my own yard. I use one as a counterbalance when I plow. So I know what they cost. My kid just put in, I don't know, 20 in his yard, and the number was stupid, and we know them very well. We know the people very well. So I think that you're willing to go the extra yard with plantings. It's going to weather normally. The concrete that is put in there looks like stone, because that's the structure of the face. It's going to weather by itself. So it's going to take on that little bit of patina that from somebody out in a rowboat is going to look and see a rock wall eventually. Maybe not tomorrow, but eventually. I think you're willing to do the plantings. I think you're willing to make it look nice. I think you've spent a ton of money to get it where it is right this moment. I would hope that you don't paint the checkerboard pattern into it. But again, aesthetically speaking, it's your wall. Would I like to see, like a lattice work? Sure. Can you buy plastic lattice work? Of course you can. But now you get dirt behind it, you get maintenance that's involved. It's any surface against another surface is just not going to sit there and never have to be dealt with. So personally, I like the plantings and I like the bare stone wall. I think it'll look the best. I think it'll maintain the best. And there's nothing that makes anything ultimately look bad over a period of time as something that's put in with a high maintenance factor. Because for whatever the reasons are, we get to it next week. So suddenly it's next year, and, that's the way it goes. So that's my only point, Mr. Chairman. I have no disrespect at all for what you're suggesting. I think that it's more maintenance on their part. I think if they cover that entire wall in vines, eventually that will grow down. You won't even see that wall. And what little bit you do see, you would think you're looking at stones. So I would be in favor of putting it in the order of conditions that, they do the plantings they've suggested, some arborvitaes, make it look pretty, and we move on to live to fight another day. With all due respect.
I understand that. I do want to point out to you, and
Go get them.
that in Dan's
He's
comment,
on my side tonight, so go easy.
I know that. Dan's comment before
Well,
is that,
nobody said.
that Dan's comment before directed at me was that aesthetics aren't part of what we do. Neither is people's intent.
I know. Well,
And neither is maintenance.
That I have to disagree with. I think intent has a lot to do with it.
Well, no, because the law is the law. The law is the same regardless of your intent. And aesthetics is not in our wheelhouse, neither is the need for people to maintain what they've done. So, but
But that
that
goes
being
into
said,
aesthetics.
right, which we just said, you just said doesn't matter.
And not all of us have a beautiful view of Sampson's Pond. Don't push it
All
off.
right. Okay. So, before we close the hearing, are there abutters who would like to say anything? No?
I would like to make a motion that we close the hearing for 5 Johns Pond Road, DEP SE 126630.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All right. It's been moved and seconded to close the hearing on 5 Johns Pond Road, 126630. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None?
I'd like to make a motion, since the NOI has already been approved, we're only dealing with a variance at this point, that we approve the variance as described for 5 Johns Pond Road, NOI DEP 126630, with the following conditions: that the resident put in the plantings of the arborvitaes and do the vine plantings and so forth and so on to do the best that he can possibly do to hide the wall, that there be no need to install any wood in front of the wall, and that it just be allowed to age normally.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
All right, it's been moved and seconded to grant the variance based on the conditions set forth by Mr. Germain. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed?
I'm abstaining.
And one abstention.
Yep.
So it passes 301.
And I have respect for that, Dan. I truly do.
301, okay.
All right?
This is
So,
where,
and we have those order of conditions, and
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah.
So, whatever you can do to make it
Absolutely, yeah.
look good.
Yeah.
And,
and I have no doubt you will.
if that
Yeah, we
netting or
will.
something else
Yeah.
that you look at that
so
may
what is
help.
the
Yeah,
netting
we'll
now?
look
It's,
nice.
is it plant, it is actually,
No, it's almost like a privacy fence, but it has artificial looking vines all throughout
oh,
it.
it's not, okay.
Yeah, it's almost like a covering.
Oh, like a covering.
If
Yeah.
anybody's looking for a bunny, I understand that
Yeah,
you've got a
that's
couple.
right.
Put into your Facebook post. You seem to have a few extra rabbits,
That's
right.
which is what happens when you start out with two, by the way.
Yeah, I know. What they say is true.
So we think they're both girls, but they're not.
Yeah, but they're not.
They were not.
Thank you for,
Thank you.
working with us,
Oh, yeah, no problem.
and feel better.
Appreciate it, thank you.
Okay.
They made us- the whole reason.
All right. South Main Street.
Pick your poison. Lot 1, Lot 3, Lot 4. They all start at the same time.
Well, let's start with one and we'll work right through them, okay?
Okay.
Okey-dokey.
Jeff Youngquist, Outback Engineer.
Plans for you?
You told the last, you got everything?
Yep.
How come there's no secretary?
She's out ill.
She's not well. She's ill. She's gonna watch the video.
And she can't make the 23rd either.
Yeah, she'll take
I'm
the
not sure
video
why, but so
from.
maybe we can find somebody else for the 23rd.
Okay.
She'll take it off the video.
Yeah. Who do you have for finance?
Her. Oh. So I don't know if we have a finance. I don't know if we're gonna have her either. We have a joint meeting with the select board on the 15th, so I'm
On the 16th, before you should find out, maybe she's gone.
Oh. I know she's pretty burnt out. She's been covering a lot. So.
Yeah, she's very sick.
Got it?
Well, we're all set, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Basically, the last time I was in here, you asked me to go back and tweak this and make it
Plan B.
Plan B. And this is Plan B. We took off the garage in back and all the driveway in the back. We eliminated all the grading there. The garage is now a tuck under with the house in front, so all the grading's missing in back. Basically, that's what we did.
The whole thing's out of the 65.
Yes, it is. We were out there today.
Yeah, the
Brooke
vast
and-
majority of it is really out of the 100 as far as the driveway goes and half the house, and I think you did an awesome job. I like it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brooke and
Thank
Jim
you.
and I were there today.
That's number one.
Concerns?
Not really, not on this one. This was pretty cut and dried.
Okay?
Not to me that the next ones aren't, but
Okay. I'll-
I didn't, I had to word that correctly.
Nobody ever gets 3 in a row here, so just so you know.
Okay, we'll try.
We may set precedent. No, this was fine.
Okay.
And this driveway is almost all completely out of the
Yeah.
100-foot, so pavement is fine on this one.
There's more of the 65 on Main Street than there is
Yes.
when you really look at this. I mean, two-thirds of Main Street's in the 65, so
Yeah.
this little sliver of driveway that is even in the 100 still isn't in
No,
the
I'm not-
65. It's less than Main Street.
I'm not concerned about that at all.
So, me either.
Okay, so this one can stay paved.
This one
This one
can
can
stay
stay
paved.
paved. I don't have an issue with that at all.
Okay.
Okay.
Any abutters on this?
No, remember the abutters who were here in the last meeting?
Yeah.
I think they realized that they were way
Yeah,
far
they were
away from.
concerned because
From the
all
lot.
this is
Yeah.
wetlands and this wasn't really gonna affect it.
Right, right.
So,
They were worried about the drainage in their property.
any other
the wetlands.
commission members? I'll make a motion to close.
Any comments from the public? No? All right.
Dan? Jim?
No.
Savory's good?
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair, I am.
You're welcome. I'll be more than happy to help you here.
Okay, no, I'm fine.
You want a motion to close the hearing?
Yes, please.
A motion to close the hearing for Lot 1 South Main Street, NOAD EPSE 126632.
Do you want posts out there?
We'll get to that.
We'll get to that in the order of conditions. So I need a second. We have a second to close the hearing.
New label.
Moved and seconded to close the hearing on Lot 1, DEPSE 126-632. All those in favor say aye.
Aye?
Any opposed? Hearing none. It's approved 4-0.
And this doesn't need a variance.
No, it doesn't.
So
Does
I
not.
make a motion that we approve. It doesn't, there's nothing in the 65.
There's grading.
Isn't there a little bit, there was a little
Little
bit,
bit of grading.
There's
Yeah.
grading.
right around
lower
the septic
right-hand corner.
system?
Over here?
Yep.
Around the septic, yeah.
Septic system.
All right, well, let's approve the NOI first. I make a motion, we approve the NOI for Lot 1 South Main Street, NOI DEPSE 126-632, as drawn on the plan from 6/7/2021. Is that the latest date on this, am I right?
Yes.
The
No,
latest,
it can't be.
the 2/23/22.
Where am I seeing that?
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm looking at
Here, here, here.
217 was this one.
2/17
Ah,
on this one.
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
2/17/22.
2/17/22, I'm sorry.
Yep. All right, do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All right, the approval of the NOI has, there's been a motion and a second to approve the NOI for Lot 1 South Main Street, DEP 126-632. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none. Any abstentions? None. 4-0.
So I'll make a motion that we approve the variance for Lot 1 South Main Street, NOI DEPSE 126-632. Just write that down, 126-632, for the 65-foot infringement area on the, looks like the southeast, no, the northeast side of the property. Is that right? Northeast?
That's southeast.
This is southeast?
Well, it's actually east, I believe.
Isn't that Main Street going that way? Isn't that going north?
Yeah,
It's
but look
north.
at your, that.
Yeah, so that's the northeast side. That's the northeast side. There's north.
Yeah, it's east.
Over on the
Anyway,
right side.
It doesn't matter, because there's still, we still need a variance for getting to the well.
Oh, as
that's
well
right.
as,
Yeah.
as
Yeah, so-
well as access to the well,
Yeah.
which is, will be set back, I don't know.
Right, so we just need a variance for
So a variance for access to
encroachment.
the well and
Yeah.
encroachment on the 65 on the northeast side of the property.
Little grading, yep, the septic.
Now, if you want, we can get into order of conditions where you're gonna put some posts up. We'd like to see a couple of the wetlands posts, perhaps one at, I'm thinking this spot right here, and
Right,
then one right here.
Yeah,
So we
where this-
still leave this open.
where the 65-foot
Where the, yeah.
hits your
So-
tree line.
We'll put a little note on this, but if you look at where your 65 comes down into the well,
Can-
that access road to the well,
Yeah.
then like a couple of posts right there along that red line,
Yep, and probably a couple to the right side. of the
and
house.
I'd put one or two over on
Yeah.
this right side. So let me just
Yeah, he just wants us to.
show you
You
what
want
my
to,
thought is.
right, you just write on here.
Yeah, right here, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna have you sign this copy anyway.
Yep.
And since you're here, Steve, we'll have you sign it too. So maybe a post here, and then, you know, stick one over here and one over here, just delineating the wetlands, you know, those little plaques that we
Yeah,
have that
yeah,
are
plaques, the same thing.
$4,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Says no disturb.
I was hoping they were 12.
Well, Brooke will discount them for cash. So that would be my, that
was
was,
4?
yeah, there's four, there's one right here,
Yeah,
so there's gonna be a post right here, there's
Yeah.
gonna be a post right here, and then just, he can throw a couple up right in here, that's
oh,
all.
okay, right on the
So
65.
4 posts,
Yep, I know.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
One here, and then one here, and one here.
Okay, so sign that, the
Right.
plan that you've marked
And
it
we'll
on.
sign this plan here that I have. That's my motion.
All
Is there a
right,
second?
is there a second?
I'll second it.
All right, it's been moved and seconded to approve the variance for Lot 1, South Main Street, DEPSE 126-632, with the order of conditions as indicated. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
All right?
Any opposed? Hearing none. Any abstentions? None. It's approved 4-0-0.
3922,
I'll
right?
pass that to you.
3922?
This is
Yes.
632, right? Yes.
Okay.
And I'll have you sign John's plan too.
Yeah, I sign that. Send it this way, we'll ask him to sign it, and we'll have Steve sign it while he's here.
So that's John's plan and the other one,
John's plan, and,
and lot 1.
oh,
You get a BA.
Right here?
Yeah. Anywhere in the bottom, yeah.
These are John's Pond and Lot 1, and I'll pass this down.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman?
What?
Anywhere in here, Jim.
Let Steve sign it.
Yep. Where did he sign?
He signed at the
Any-
bottom.
Yeah, anywhere in here, right in here would be good, just so you have it signed. It just shows this plan, and we'll keep this plan as part of the file. We gotta nail those down.
Velcro or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just nail them.
We'll
Be here
spray
every
paint
night.
it.
Here are the two things to sign.
This is the NOI for, this is the variance for John's Pond and Lot 1 coming at you.
Yep.
Thank you.
All right, moving on. Lot 3.
Lot 3. Lot 3.
Do we have the plans, please?
Yes, you do.
All right, Brookie.
All right, so you got me to
I don't
sign.
know. This is,
That's John, yeah, that's John.
and this is Lot 1.
Yeah, that's not right. Yeah.
Lot 1 with the same sign.
Okay, sign it in, all right, and
All right.
here's the plans for 3.
Yep, we did it, so.
You got one?
I got one?
Yeah.
So we go that way. I need another slip too if we're gonna,
Yeah.
Here's 3.
if we're gonna.
I have an extra one here.
Here you go.
That's extra.
Okay,
Yes.
here we go, lot number 3.
Yep.
I didn't do too much, we didn't do too much on this one, and I'll explain to you why. We pulled out of the 65, no clearing or anything in the 65. The house cannot move forward, because if you see the line directly in front of the house, that's 150-foot width, and I can't have the house in front of that. That's the problem.
Is that, what, is that a building envelope you need or something?
Yeah, it's,
Oh.
the lot can't be any less than 150 feet. So
Oh,
right there is
yeah, yeah, yeah.
150 feet.
Yeah.
We tuck the house right up against it, giving ourselves a foot or two a spare. So I don't have to pin the footing, basically. Okay?
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. That makes sense.
Okay, that was all I could do on that one. I did on number 4 change quite a bit, but on number 3, I was kind of hemmed in, so.
Okay.
Yeah, again, this
That's
is,
fine. And this is for the most part.
yeah, this is so little, and even within the, outside the
Yeah, I
100,
think
there's a
this
little
one we
bit
had a
of a
little
deck.
problem with
Yeah.
the tree line.
Yeah,
I think
the
if I
tree
recall.
line is there. Where's the well for this?
Wells up front, right off the driveway.
Oh, yeah,
Away up in the front, yep.
oh, yeah. Would you be willing to leave the driveway as a, maybe a reground asphalt or a?
Well, we used that impervious stuff before.
Yeah,
I mean, I think in general, to have impervious is more runoff, okay? And the impervious, if it just goes through to get there, like we conceded the garage and we moved the house on lot 4. And I'm the one that actually brought this to their attention because of what we had issues in prior to this, to make that a shared driveway so we would have less in the 65. So we actually moved the driveway from lot 4 into lot 3 to be out of the wetland for you guys, okay? So it's another loophole we jumped through to make that. You know, again, as you know, this property, you know, we got 58 right there, we got runoff from 58.
yeah, there is a lot of.
And the thing I'm afraid of, and my son is gonna be in lot 3, so this is gonna be his lot. My problem is, I didn't wanna do a lot of street cuts. So someone coming out of there, you know, coming around that corner, you know how, you know, you're doing 50, 55, 60 miles an hour. I'm afraid of reprocessed asphalt, you're not gonna get the traction just to get out onto the road to get a good start. And that's my concern with reprocess. We had it there before, and even in my son's driveway, he bought the house, he owns the house, and that's an issue. So,
And he has got a point.
pervious, not impervious.
Yeah,
Pervious.
I don't think it's in that. I don't think
What, the paving?
Yeah. Because you're right here,
I get that,
you know?
I get that.
It's not like this little area goes to gravel.
Well, what's your concerns? I mean, just, you can speak.
Our concerns, as always, is the next guy,
What?
is the next guy who wants to pave his driveway that doesn't have, that hasn't made any concessions. And he points to you, saying, you let them do it, you have to let us do it.
Aren't we like pretty much out of the 65 total?
Yes, you are.
So we're within the 35 feet of the 100, correct?
He is.
He is, all right.
So, I mean, the only thing I was trying to do is,
No,
and
I
I come to the town in the sense
I
of,
think you're right.
taking lot 4, I would have had to go for a variance for lot 4 for a driveway. So to take that out of
Yeah,
there,
yeah, yeah, I get that.
so that's the
I
only thing
get
I'm
that.
thinking. And the second thing was, my concern is my son owns the Colonial, the old
Yeah.
antique Colonial, and Tyler is gonna be the next person in lot 3. So my concern would be that, and that's why we try to do this.
Okay.
So that's the only thing I have to add to.
Are those your chairs in the back?
What's that? Yeah,
You left a pair of gloves in the drink holder.
yeah.
Okay.
Because as you guys notice, if you walk the property, you see there's a lot of tree damage
Yes.
back there. There's a lot of blowover.
Yeah.
So, when they started clearing the cemetery, a lot more air came through there and kind of cleared it
Yeah.
out. So, he was just over there trying to clean it up, and, we had a couple people come in there and look at, but,
Oh, it made it.
that's my concern with the driveway. And I think with lot 4, we actually flipped the house.
Yeah.
I was bringing lot 4 and 3 together, so you came in and kind of V'd off, Y off on it. So you'd have the garage to the opposite. Now it's to the opposite, guys. You guys were talking about, I want to say you're talking about grading, and you wanted me to flip the house. So like I said, we flipped the house back the other way. So that was my concern when I did lot number 4, why I had the driveway and the garage to the right, and lot number 3, the garage to the left, so they would be, further away from any wetland.
Yep.
All right.
So that's all I really got to add to the situation here.
Okay, all right, I understand that. We couldn't find the indication of where the well was today when we were looking there. I didn't see any kind of a post or
20
anything.
feet right off the street.
I know, but I didn't see anything. We were trying to figure out, and this is maybe a question you can ask us.
Sure.
Answer us.
Where the driveway-
Approximately where the driveway is going to come out onto 58, there is a utility pole.
Yep.
And we didn't know which side of that
And then the guardrail. So remember the
The-
guardrail and then the.
Yeah, there was a guardrail, then a little bit of space, probably enough for a
Utility
drive.
pole, it is this side of the utility pole, which would, if you're standing in the street, it'd be poles over here, driveway's here.
So
Then the
south,
guardrail.
to the south side of the pole.
So it's between the guardrail and the.
Correct.
Okay.
That's, we didn't, like I said, again, there's a little indentation there.
Yeah.
So we're trying to stay to the right, get out of there instead of cutting the
Yeah.
guardrail and then have to fill that in with the variance. So that's why we kind of went this direction, to let the least amount of impact to the street and less driveways coming out on the 58.
Okay, all right, yeah, we just, because the homes were well marked, but there was nothing marking where the driveway went. And we were just kind of trying to get our bearings as to where it was gonna go. Okay, so,
I'm good.
yeah, all the clearing that was done there made it very easy to walk around. Lot 4, not so much. Lot 4 was a little harder.
I'm good.
Any other comments from any of the
I
members?
would actually back down off I'd allow the asphalt cover.
Well, right now it says
And the new
proposed.
asphalt is, some of it is permeable anyway, is
Okay,
permeable.
well, it,
But you're right on top of
variance
58, I
is-
think you're right,
Yeah.
is trying to get out of that
Yes.
driveway, and if you stomp on it because the car's coming,
We
you
had
start
the issue-
spinning out.
Yeah, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but we had the issue just coming out of my driveway as we had that intermission of driveway or no driveway, and then we had that reprocess, and
Right.
it was a nightmare.
And your driveway dripped in, like your
Correct.
whole front yard dipped in.
So this is kind of very similar to that, so for grading purposes, we're gonna shift the driveway, we're gonna tilt it away from the wetland, so everything will kind of be tilted, kind of due, let's call it north. I mean, I live there, I live across the street, so I want the best for all of us.
yeah, I know.
And all that stuff goes right into the drainage and right into the pond, so,
Yeah, which goes under the road and by your house, so I get it.
correct.
But intermittent.
Right, intermittently.
It's already been decided.
Dan?
Yeah,
Jim?
Nothing.
okay.
Make a motion to close the hearing.
Any
Second.
comments from anybody?
Wait a
No?
minute, for DEP, SE1, I'm sorry, no? DEP SE 126633.
All right, do I have a second?
Second?
All right, it's been moved and seconded to close the hearing on Lot 3, South Main Street, DEP SE 126-633. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none. Any abstentions? None.
Motion to approve the NOI for Lot 3, South Main Street, DEP SE 126633.
Second?
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the NOI for Lot 3, DEP SE 126-633. All those in favor say aye.
All
Aye.
right,
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing
correct me,
none.
there's no need for a variance here, right? Because the tree line is back in the 65.
Yes.
So the driveway's out of the 65, so there's no need of a variance. So I guess the only caveat would be maybe a couple of, again, a
Posts.
couple of the posts down at the 65 line.
Right
How
along
wide
the
is
tree
that?
line.
Yeah, along the tree line, but how wide is that?
Looks to be about 80 feet.
So maybe 3?
Yeah. Yeah,
So 3 posts across the,
each side in the middle.
that would be the east side, or along just like here, here, and here. So it's 3 little posts. But there's no other requirement for anything else. Everything's out of the 65, so it requires no variance. That's just part of the order of conditions, no?
Correct.
It'd be fine.
Okay,
Okay.
that's a motion.
All right, it's been moved to grant the variance with
There's no
the,
variance,
I mean,
the NOI.
oh, we did that?
Actually, we did the NOI, that's
So
been
we're good.
approved. So this
Just
is
the
merely,
order of
this is merely
conditions.
the order of conditions.
Okay. That's fine.
So I don't think that even needs a vote.
No, it doesn't. Okay, we're good on 3.
NOI approval, no variance.
And you're gonna sign it, right?
We're going to sign it. Yes.
Put in here that there's no variance. So you don't need it. And you know we're talking about the posts,
Yeah.
right?
I wrote that, yep. 3 posts.
This is going good tonight.
We'll have you sign both the 3 and, well, you can sign 3 and 4 when we're done with 4.
Okay.
Okay?
These other people are staying.
I'd really rather have them just sign it now, so we don't lose the time. You don't sign that now, if you don't mind.
All right, we'll ask you to, if
I'm
you
going to
could,
ask you to sign that now.
just so we can put it back in the
Brooke can put
folder
it
and
back in the
everything's together.
folder. And we don't wind up with things being skewed.
can we have,
Maybe ask Steve to sign it too, right above wherever you do. Yeah. Here. It's got a GPS tracking device in it, so don't steal it. That one's the real one. All right, so this is when we vote no? We can't give him 3.
Oh, this is pretty good. We were out there today.
I'm getting nervous.
I don't know.
I'm getting nervous. It's going too
I
soon.
don't know, 3 okey dokies, I'm not sure that we can handle 3
It's-
well, before tonight, because we did, Tony.
It's going way too smoothly.
It is, it is.
So are you good with this? You don't need to sign anything else on this, right?
No, we signed
Okay,
it.
you got it.
Everybody sign that?
Yeah.
We
and they
signed
just-
the,
I need the order.
you got the, can I have the order? That all done?
Yep.
And that goes there, and that goes there, and I need another label. Give me one of the denied labels,
Yeah, we got it right here. D9.
denied, big stamp.
We should have one. Actually, that would be a bad idea.
That would be a good idea. We need to get a big stamp.
Yeah. D9.
Okay, Mr. Chairman,
All right.
Lot 4.
Lot 4. Again, we were out there today. We looked at all 3 lots.
Yeah, I don't like it.
This was well marked. Difficult to get to, more difficult than 3. But we got out there. And, we'd had a couple of issues when they first came in front of us, and those have been addressed.
Yeah.
So,
Nothing's in the 65 except that little tiny bit of grading off the
Yep.
garage slab there, that's it.
Right.
Do all that, so do that.
Driveway's outside.
right.
That's what I talked to Jason.
You know, if I may, Mr. Chairman, this is what makes these plans work, is because you come in very seriously to try to do something, and we understand you're trying to build something, and then we come up with a request for maybe a little less infringement here, a little less infringement there, and a Plan B. And then the engineer goes back with the owner and says, okay, how do we do this to make this work? And they come up with the best-case scenario that is obvious to us, that you went back and you spent time and you spent money to make this change, to make this work. And I just want to say personally, I really appreciate the fact that you put the time and effort into that. You didn't sit back and stick your hands on your hips and say, hey, this is the best we can do, you know, give us a break here. My hat's off to that. I think that
Well, like I said, I got.
you've done everything we've asked you to do, Steve. That's my point.
Yep.
I've been here a long, long time, so I'm not going anywhere.
And that's obvious, too, in the work you've done at your current house as well as what you're trying to do here. So, you know, I appreciate it. I really do.
Yep. I was sad that those trees died in your front yard. They were, you know,
Me
That
both.
big one
long
was,
time there.
that big one was beautiful.
Yeah.
We
they
got
were.
trees that are dying in our yard, too. Gene's heartbroken. I got trees I gotta take down
Yeah.
because they've had it.
From the Beatles?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know,
Soil
and
beetles are a tough thing to,
Yeah.
to get rid of, you know.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, any comments from the, anyone on the commission? Mr. Badger, anything?
No.
Mr. Nowen?
No.
make a motion, we close the hearing for Lot 4, South Main Street.
Any
NOI.
comments from anyone? No?
I'm
Okay.
sorry.
All right.
No, they're
Continue.
from John's Pond.
Oh, NOI DEP at SE 126634.
All right, second?
I'll second that.
All right, it's been moved and seconded to close the hearing on 4 South Main Street, 126634. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing none, 4-0.
Make a motion, we approve the NOI for Lot 4 South Main Street, DEP SE 126634, pursuant to the plan dated 2/23/22.
Second?
I'll second that.
All right, it's been moved and seconded to approve the NOI for Lot 4, DEP SE 126634. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing none, it's approved unanimously.
And it looks like we need a tiny variance just for this south side off the garage
For
side,
grading?
is that correct? For the
Yep.
grading? So I make a motion, we approve the variance for the grading on the south side of the property as drawn on the plan dated 2/23/22 for SE 126634.
Okay,
We'll get,
We'll
the
get
order of conditions will deal with the posts and stuff like that.
all right, fine. It's been moved to approve the variance. We need a second?
I'll second that.
All right, it's been moved and seconded to approve the variance for Lot 4, South Main Street, 126634. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none. Any abstentions? No. 4-0.
Within the order of conditions, I'd like to see, I don't know, what's the pleasure of the board? Maybe 1, 2, 3.
We should probably put them along the 65 into the woods.
All right, 4, 5.
Yeah, 5, I would say.
You have 5 posts back here, some of
1,
it 5 or
2.
6.
Yep.
Yeah.
Kind of like just follow the tree line, obviously not up here, but,
And you're following the, basically around, just around the house,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Just put them on the 65 here,
Do like
so a
1,
couple in
2,
here,
2 here.
1 here, 3,
and then a couple here.
4, maybe 5, just so that people know.
Yeah, because this over here is the cemetery anyways.
Yeah. So just a couple
Yeah,
here,
Brooks here,
and 1
yeah.
here, and
Yeah.
a couple up here, or
Yeah.
something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right?
You need to sign this?
Yeah,
I'm gonna give you this one.
Working on it.
This says NOI.
We also want to put in the order of conditions, something we'd spoken about today was...
Anywhere in here, wherever you want to sign it. and you just do.
Not building yourself into
Into a dead tree.
into a situation of necessity, of
Right.
trees coming down.
Right.
So,
Yeah, appreciate it.
basically, one of our concerns, and it was also, and I forgot, I didn't say it for Lot 3, but it's kind of a concern there too, is there are a lot of tall pines back there. And when you do clear around the, your proposed tree line, you're going to have more tall pines that are just outside the tree line
Wind will bring them down.
at some
Well,
point.
if you find they're dangerous, I think that's where Savory's going.
Well, no, what is that you can't build yourself into a situation where you need to take them down.
Yeah.
Into a,
The location of the house should not be one in which you're in the middle of trees that have to be
So
cut
they have to
down.
come back and say, oh, I have to cut this tree because it's a safety issue. I mean, it's
defined
hard
as-
to
it's
do that.
defined as a
because you don't really know,
self-imposed
but-
hardship.
Yeah. I mean, the plan shows where the house is gonna go,
right.
Well, we could,
so,
like I said, I can call Brick, when we come in there, we can call you guys, I'll just do a site visit and say, look, we gotta take this one down, because you've been out there today, you've seen a couple of
Right.
those big pines are cracked at the top.
Yeah.
So it's gotta come out, if it's in that 65 feet, it's, then it
Right.
and
becomes a
the trouble
hazard,
is,
so.
when they break, they're gonna break 12, 15, 18 feet
Correct.
up.
Yeah.
Or
They're not gonna
upward.
break at the base, they're not gonna break at the root, they're gonna snap
Correct.
10, 12, 15 feet up. And
Yeah.
we've seen that happen all over town. I keep waiting for one to fall down behind my house, but I'm hoping it doesn't now, because I put a new roof on already. So now I
Well,
gotta
the
cut
other
it, now I
thing-
gotta cut it
Well,
down.
that was dumb. Now the
Yeah.
tree's gonna fall on us.
Yeah, he was saying, Steve, were you saying something?
No, I'm just saying that if they're, when we get out there
Yeah.
and, we'll have the land clearing company, they'll look at it and they're gonna judge it. If I have to,
Right.
I'll give you guys a
Yeah,
call.
just,
and,
that's all.
and we can send some pictures and stuff. And,
Yeah.
Unless we want it to be kind of like a retreat
Right,
lot.
'cause
So
that's
we
why
don't
it's
wanna
so far
clear all
back,
15,
right.
we're gonna leave that that's what I'm saying, coming in with that one driveway, saved all those trees and the clearing and the filling.
Yeah.
I think you wanna get as much privacy in there as you can get,
Correct.
and I don't think I blame you for that.
Yeah.
You know, it
Like I
cuts
said, when
down
we
the
get towards
noise,
the house, you kind of
Sure.
want a perimeter around it that's not gonna
but it's gonna cut down the traffic noise also, so it makes it more, more
I will tell you
palatable there.
that the drawings don't show you a lot. I was surprised how far back from the road both
I
of these
know, I
lots
was
were.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when I was purchasing the property, I looked across the street from my house and I said, do I want somebody coming in here and put some spec houses in here that I can see? So
Yeah.
now I can control where they go, how they're covered,
Right.
and I know the sound of the noise of the street, so.
Yeah.
To me, that's what we kind of looked at when we did the plans with, Outback, so.
Yep.
There you go, honey.
All right,
All right.
Thank you.
Okay.
thank you for your
Yeah,
time.
thank
Thank you.
Where's the two?
Thank you, by the way. Thank
What's
you
that?
for
Good night.
the following.
Where's house two? Is that the existing one?
The house number 19 is the existing one.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that
that's
one's
lots
that one's staying the way it is.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did we,
Because there's a space there.
Renovated it.
did
now,
they
but-
come in late, or did?
No, they were here with John's.
Oh,
You've been here all night. Are you here for? Okay. All right.
And that's,
Just want to make sure.
we'll have to charge you admission.
It's entertainment.
At the pleasure of the board, I would like to table the reading of the minutes, or the approval of the minutes till our next meeting, because I did not have a chance to read them.
motion to table the minutes to the next meeting.
And these were pretty extensive
All you
minutes.
do is ask, motion
Oh,
to
for the
table the minutes to the
16th.
next
Oh,
meeting.
yeah, yeah.
I'll second that.
All right, it's been moved and seconded to table the reading of, or the approval of the minutes from February 16th until our next meeting on March 23rd. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Motion to
Hearing
adjourn.
none? Do we have a second to adjourn?
Second.
Did you want, you have a, I'm sorry, feel free.
You good?
Yeah, no, I'm
I'll give you 30 seconds. Motion to adjourn.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And we're out. Thank you.